Hey YouTube, I'm back. It's Ish with Growing in OKC. Sorry I haven't done a garden update in a while. I've been pretty busy, and so a lot of you all have just been watching some of my past videos, and a lot of you are new subscribers. Welcome to the channel. So I'm gonna take you around and do a garden update. The last month I've been really busy. I've been out of town for 3 out of the 4 weeks. So pardon, the grass is kind of high, and some of my garden looks a little bit rough, but we're going to take you around, and I'm going to make a couple of videos over the next couple of days and show you all what's been growing on here in my backyard urban garden. Okay, so this is my garden, and just take you around real quick, kind of tell you quickly what I've gotten from it so far. I have 3 jalapeno plants like this, and I've had maybe 2 dozen jalapenos so far. This one's sitting in a little 2 or 3 gallon container. Got a dead marigold right there next to it. Also in this bed, there's some dill that I'm collecting for seeds, thanks to Justin Schufert. You all have seen his videos. I've got some, that's romaine lettuce that I'm also letting go to seed. It's actually very pretty. It's kind of got white tufts on it, like something similar to a dandelion top, but those are actually the flowers, they're not the seeds themselves. Then down here, and you can tell I haven't been here in a while, I've got cantaloupe, and it's starting to trail itself out. I need to keep it trailed up on this post. I'll try to zoom in real close. I've got cantaloupe growing here, and I've never grown cantaloupe before, but you can see cantaloupe growing right in between the netting of this, and that provides the support it needs to not pull completely right off the vine. So that garden bed's doing pretty well. It's the middle of the day here. It's 4 o'clock, and it's partially shaded, but I think it does best that way, or at least, I don't know, it seems to be doing just fine. It's actually bushier here on the left hand side than it is on the right that gets more sun. Next up, in this bed I have onion, which I'm pulling out today, but I wanted to show you all before I pulled it. The onion, this is how you know onions are ready to be pulled, and I'm gonna pull the biggest one for you all. Come on. There we go. I started these from little shallots, and you can see it's probably slightly bigger than a baseball. So onions, they're ready to pull when the tops get all brown. Some kohlrabi that probably needs to be cut up. I was waiting for it to form. Some people have told me that it needs to get to be about the size of an egg before you cut it. And these are the ones that have not. I've harvested maybe half a dozen kohlrabi. And then also what I'll be pulling today is a lot of these carrots. They're bent over. I guess they don't like the heat all that much. So carrots are good. My poor zucchini plants, man. If you all have been following my videos, you know that I've been engaged in an epic battle with squash bugs. And these poor zucchini plants, when they're not being molested by bugs and pests, you can see it's done some rough business here at the base. When it's not being bothered, they're just being, damn, there's one right now. As you can see, I am not winning the battle with the squash bug, so I won't be doing squash or zucchini next year. I need to wait 3 or 4 years for them to die. That really upsets me. Okay, then we've got all the tomato plants. Tomatoes are doing really great. If one of you all could tell me The undergrowth on a lot of these tomato plants is pretty brown. I'll take you around. It's a serious amount of just brown leaves, but the top does really well. Is this a result? These are almost 6 feet tall. Is this a result of my tomato plants being indeterminate plants? Do they shed the lower foliage and then focus more on top growth? Or is this the result of overcrowding because I kind of followed the square foot method? And so I have 6 tomato plants in this 8-foot bed. If you happen to know, let me know. And then you can also see in here, in spite of all the dying leaves, I have tomatoes growing, and I probably produced somewhere in the range of 15 pounds, 20 pounds worth of tomatoes in the last month and a half. And I've eaten a lot of that and given a lot to my friends. Oh, here's great. This variety, oh no! This variety is the grape tomato. It's a lot like a cherry tomato. I really don't know what the difference is. I guess they grow more like a grapevine than a cherry tomato, but absolutely amazing. Cannot get enough of them. Oftentimes before the basil died, went to bolt, whatever you want to call it, I would come out and eat tomatoes and pick basil and stuff like that. So these are little grape tomatoes. Oh, and they have such a great flavor. One of the things I missed the most while I was vacationing is just being able to come out here, pick stuff from my garden and eat it. In addition to these tomato plants, Swiss chard actually is doing pretty well, so long as it's shaded. What does not do well in the shade, this is an okra plant, and you can just see it's a stem and like 3 leaves. And I've got a few of them underneath here, and they're still producing pods of okra, but I want you all to compare. These are probably 1.5 feet or 2 feet tall, and they've been in the ground for 2 months or so, maybe a little bit more. So I want you to keep that in mind as we go around here to look at these okra plants, which I planted only about a month ago from seed. These did not start as a pre-start, and they're already this big, and look at how thick the stalks are. So yeah, they do much better in full light than they do shaded. Here are 2 more of my jalapeno plants. This is a squash plant, and growing up in between it is actually a romaine lettuce that I thought had died because some worms cut it off, but it's come back. Some marigolds. And then I've got these vining red hull peas that are trying to come up. Hopefully it'll act as a little bit of a shade for the squash plant. And then last, and I plan on making another video for you all about this later, is all these things that have gone to seed in here. This is what arugula looks like when the plant has finally died and it's time to collect the seed. This is a radish plant that's gone to seed, and I'm going to be collecting those seeds as well. That's a small dog wandering around in the back there. Livers. She's a rescue. Spay and neuter your pets, and also rescue dogs. Don't buy from animal breeders that just contribute to the over pet population. Some more arugula. In this area, this bald area before I left, I had spinach and I pulled that out. And I've already got that set aside for making a video as well. So that's it, as I'm leaving my garden here. Sorry if you all are getting the shaky view. So really that's it for my garden. As you can see, it's going really well, and even if you're gone a whole lot, there's no reason why you should let that deter you from gardening. I've been gone 3 out of the last 4 weeks. I was only here for 1 week in between them, and this garden is doing just fine. So long as you maintain some sort of water regimen with a water system, I have mine set up to a timer, then you can be assured that your plants are going to do fine. You could also have friends and relatives, as I also did, come in and check on your garden so that you can just have the peace of mind to know that everything's going right. So thanks for watching my garden update. If you all could post anything about my tomato plants or give me some suggestions, I'd love it to hear about it or read about it. And feel free to post your own updates and link them to this page. Good luck growing in OKC or wherever you're at in the world.